We make way for our next guest and the official introduction. Our following guest fulfilled the dream of every little boy in Ohio, winning a national title for LSU. He threw 60 touchdowns this season, 60. Usually we try to do something negative in these intros and keep our guest humble, but I'm having a hard time doing that. He was just okay in the game against Auburn. I guess we'll go with that. Please welcome our next guest, Joe Burrow. Good to meet you. Good
nice
to meet you, Joe.
As well.
Yeah, you have Russell Wilson, who just walks off stage and
Not a bad
says
football
hello.
Player.
Yeah, I know. You hadn't met him before, right?
I've not, no.
Then all of a sudden you're trading numbers.
Yeah, that was awesome.
How would you sum up what's happened in the last year for you?
It's hard to. It was a long road from where everyone's talking about me last June to right now, so it's been crazy.
But explain what happened at Ohio State that put you in that position. So those that don't know that story, what happened at Ohio State?
Yeah, so JT Barrett, 4-year starter there. I went in knowing I was going to be a backup for 2 to 3 years, depending on if JT left early. And then Dwayne Haskins, and we were battling for 2 years. And then JT's last year, me and Dwayne were battling for the backup job. And before the decision was made, I broke my throwing hand. So it kind of set me back a little bit. Couldn't really throw the way I wanted to all year. And then, we had the battle after JT left in spring ball, and he ended up winning out.
And then you just said to your dad?
And I graduated in 3 years, and so I could go and play immediately.
Did LSU find you, or did you find LSU?
I think they found me. Coach Bill Bush was at Ohio State with me for a year, and he became the safeties coach at LSU, and he stood on the table for me with Coach O. He's like, if we get this guy, we're going to win the national championship. He said that 2 Mays ago, and so he kind of stood on the table, and then they started watching film, and me fell in love with me, and I went on a visit, and I fell in love with them.
Okay, wait. So he said, if we bring in Joe, we're going to win the national title.
Yeah.
Did you know that he said that to Coach O?
I did, yeah.
That's a little bit of pressure there, Joe.
Maybe a little, but that's what I wanted to do. So that's when he said that to me, I got fired up. I was like, yeah, let's do it.
But I don't know where your confidence comes from, because it feels like it's not cocky, but it's confident.
Yeah, it comes from preparation. I win the games on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I don't win them on Saturday. So I'm confident because I understand what the defense is doing before they do it, and that's where my confidence comes from on Saturdays.
Where'd you learn that?
JT
Barrett?
Yeah, that's how I learned to. I watched film throughout all high school and all that, like quarterbacks do. My dad taught me a little bit about it, but I really learned how to prepare like a pro from JT.
Do you have any doubts?
Any doubts about myself?
Yeah.
No.
Nothing.
No. Why would I?
Well, you're going into the NFL.
Yeah, and it's going to be very, very difficult, but I'm confident that I'm going to work just about as hard, if not harder, than everybody else. And, if I might be a good player, I might not be a good player, but I know I'm going to work my hardest to be the best player I can be.
Were you a Browns fan growing up?
So my dad being a coach, I moved around a lot when I was really young. And then I moved to Ohio, and Reggie Bush got drafted to the Saints, and Drew Brees is with the Saints. And so because of those two guys, I was kind of a Saints fan growing up a little bit, and kind of transitioned to a Browns fan later in my high school career.
Did you meet Drew Brees yet?
I did, yeah. At the national
like?
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I tried to keep it together as the best I could, but we were talking, and I would just talk ball, and I was standing there like acting super cool, like, yeah, on third down they're gonna do this and all that good stuff.
And Drew's been a friend of the show for a long time, and we had him read his draft profile. So we found all these negative things that were said prior to going into the NFL. He was so mad reading it, and he said, "Can I keep this piece of paper? I want to put it in my locker because I want it as motivation."
Yeah.
So here's a guy who's first ballot Hall of Fame, but here he is saying to himself, J.J. Watt did the same thing. These guys are like, "Can I keep this?" I'm like, "Yeah, go ahead, keep it, whatever they're saying." What have you seen draft profiles on you of what they say?
I've seen a couple of things, but not extensively.
Any negatives that they've said about you that stand out?
You know, the whole thing, my whole career has been my arm strength, so I'm sure that's one of them, without having looked at it.
Yeah, but I wonder about that if I said the one thing you have to have as a quarterback, what's the one thing every quarterback has, or greatness that you have that?
So it's not. So you want to have timing and accuracy. But the timing and accuracy comes from understanding the offense and the defense. So it all starts with the brain. You got to be smart, but then you got to be accurate and be able to throw on time as well. So you got to understand the ins and outs of the offense so you can use your eyes to manipulate the defense. Then you have to understand what the defense is doing so you can do that as well and open up windows wider than what they usually are to throw on time, and then you got to throw accurately.
How many times do you go to the line of scrimmage this year and say, this is going to be a touchdown?
A lot. I threw 60, so probably 30.
How do you hide it when you know you got the right play?
I try to look away from the guy I'm going to throw to the best I can.
But you know, when you see coverage and know what you've called, and it's just a matter of if you put the ball in the right place.
Yeah, as long as, you know, certain plays are just me making plays or our receivers making plays, but a lot of them are schemed up plays against a certain coverage, and when I see that coverage, I'm pretty excited. As long as the O-line holds up for 2 seconds, then we'll throw it.
Any trash talk in the national title game?
No, not to me too much.
What do they say when somebody does trash talk you?
You know, there's a lot at the beginning of the year, and I never start the trash talk, but I think you can see it. I usually finish it. So, you know, the
Auburn game, it felt like there was a little.
There was a little in the Auburn game, yeah. But usually about the third quarter, people stop talking trash to me.
Well, then there was the interception, and then you got hit, and then that defensive lineman standing over you.
UCF?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That was 2018, yeah.
Yeah. That had to hurt.
It didn't hurt as much. It knocked the wind out of me, so I couldn't breathe. I was pretty disappointed in myself that I didn't pop right back up. Because usually when I get hit, I pop right back up. But that one, I just couldn't breathe, so I had to stay down for a second.
Do you understand what Coach O was saying all the time?
Most of the time, yeah. Most of the time.
Once he gets going, I try to pick out every third or fourth word.
Yeah, when my first year there, it was difficult during the games because he gets fired up and starts, reverts back to his southern Louisiana Cajun accent.
Do you just nod your head?
Yeah. You got it, Coach. You got it.
What have you heard from the Bengals?
Nothing really. It's hard. I haven't talked to any teams yet. Where you can't really talk to them until the combine too much.
Yeah. Do you want to? Do you want to hear from the Bengals?
Look, whenever you're in the conversation for the number one pick, it's obviously a dream come true. But I know they have a process to go through. I have a process to go through. So it's a long ways away.
But is being number one or going to the right team the most important to you?
Combination of both.
Yeah.
You want to go number one, but you also want to go to a great organization that's committed to winning Super Bowls.
Yeah, because it feels like that, people can't believe that you'd want to go play for the Bengals. Like, why would you? And I said, well, do you want to pull an Eli and say that I don't want to play there? And then they go, well, you're from Ohio. I go, well, that doesn't mean that you're a Bengal fan.
Yeah.
This is a business decision.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors that go into it. And my dream always has been to play in the NFL. And that's, the fact that I'm sitting on here being in the conversation of the number one pick is honestly crazy to me, watching the draft growing up, watching the guys walk out and hold their jersey. So, there's a lot of things that go into it, but it's a huge honor.
Dolphins got a couple of number one picks here.
I heard something about that.
Yeah. How do you look in Dolphin colors there?
I don't know. I've never worn teal blue like that before.
Well, how do you look? You got tiger stripes already with LSU, and now the Bengals there.
I think I can pull off just about any color.
Oh, all right. I like that. What are you drinking there, by the way?
Yeah, we got the Bolt 24. It's a new Gatorade product that, Gatorade, everyone knows what Gatorade is. You drink it on the field to stay hydrated, but this Bolt 24 is the off-the-field drink. It's got antioxidants, electrolytes, all that good stuff. And I'm super excited to be partnering with them. It's an elite brand.
You glad the Bengal questions are over?
Yeah.
You are? I wondered if that's why you took a sip. So let me break that up there so you're not talking about the Bengals. Favorite football player growing up besides Brees? How did you become a Reggie Bush fan?
Did you watch him in college?
Yeah, but I didn't mean he was my favorite player.
That meant he was my favorite player.
But you were a USC fan.
No, I was a Reggie Bush fan. I mean, I was a Nebraska fan growing up because, my dad and both my brothers played there. And so I was a diehard Nebraska fan.
Did they recruit you?
They did not.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That hurt?
That hurt real bad, yeah. That's where I wanted to go.
So wait, your brothers and your dad, and your dad doesn't have any pull there to say, or your brothers to say?
We thought we did. We thought we did.
Wow. That's got to hurt bad.
Yeah.
Did your brothers make fun of you that you didn't get, how brothers can be?
No, they just weren't very happy with the program.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They weren't very happy.
Yeah, well, I think you did all right there.
Yeah, I think I did all right.
Congrats. Did you keep any souvenirs from this year?
Yeah, I got a hat with all the confetti in it from after the game. Like they have in the Hall of Fame cases. They just put the hat there and all the confetti's in there, so I got that in my apartment. The dance you had after you won, did you see that video? Yeah, I saw the video.
Okay. What exactly is that dance?
Get the gat.
The gat.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I didn't know if you knew how to dance. And then
I can dance a little bit.
No, I was told that you were actually doing the dance correctly.
Yeah.
It's not really a dance, though, Joe.
I guess not. It's a
move.
It was kind of the theme song of our championship run. It kind of started in the SEC championship.
Best athlete on your team was who?
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
No question.
No question.
Really?
Unreal. He's going to play for 20 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, he was spectacular. He had some moves where
everyone looks at all my stats because we threw the ball so much because we had great guys on the outside as well. But, Clyde's a different beast.
Don't you have a defensive back who could play wide receiver as well?
I think we got a couple of them.
Yeah.
We got Grant, Christian, and Stingley. And Stingley's, he's the best young player that I've ever seen.
I just think that if I'm LSU, I'd have him play offense next year as well, because he might already be the best defensive back in the nation.
Yeah, you might as well move on to something else and try it.
A new challenge there. But that had to help you in practice going against these guys.
So Derek came as a true freshman and did some, they have the early signing day now, so they can come for bowl practice. So 2018, he was doing the bowl practice with us, and I was throwing his way every single time just to see if, he lived up to all the hype, and yeah, he did super early.
Good luck with this whole process there,
Appreciate
Joe.
that.
Yeah, it'll go by quickly. Try to have fun with it. Bolt 24 by Gatorade, Bolt 24 off the field hydrator. To learn more about this, drinkbolt24.com. Joe Burrow, we're back after this on the Dan Patrick Show.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.